And welcome back, everyone, to How to Introduce the Illuminati Part 3. If you haven't checked out our two parts, they are right there on the channel somewhere. Just keep scrolling, you'll find them eventually. Or you can just search in the little search icon. Stop you having to scroll through the 1,001 videos in between now and then. But yeah, as always, I am Mitch. You can find me on Twitter, Mitch692. And once again, I'm joined by Sean.
What's up? You can follow me right here on the channel.
And only here. But right, quick recap. We have Bong Joon-ho for me directing for this trilogy. Sean has David Fincher for all three. I had Black Panther, Black Bolt, Medusa, Ajax, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, and Namor. I almost said Keanu Reeves and then again they're the same person, really, so it doesn't make any difference.
I mean,
so that's my Illuminati lineup. You had Black Panther / Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, Xavier, Captain Marvel, Nick Fury, and Hank Pym.
Yeah.
And last week we had the Cabal. Not going to go over those, mainly because I didn't write down Sean's, looking at my notes. So
I think I have mine somewhere.
so,
I'm scrolling through it, you know.
So, not that the Cabal are going to play a massive part in what I have in mind for this one, but I kind of want them still there because
it's in the background. Yeah.
You got to keep them around to at least a Secret Wars movie. Which...
Yeah, I mean, mine would probably kind of lead into that. So the Illuminati I have is like the Hood, Thanos, Doom, Yanrog, Baramuda, Mordo, and Sinister, and Black Swan as the defunct.
Yes. I of course have Black Swan, Supergiant, Ultron, Doctor Doom, Loki, Maker, and Thanos. I should asterisk that it's Lady Loki, not
something different.
We had a slight change of pace. Yeah, I think the Secret Wars thing is the elephant in the room because do you lead directly into that movie or do you kind of play how the comics played it and you go like, here's an incursion, this is the thing, and then you leave it?
Well, I wanted to include the incursions or something because like it would be such a cool visual to have that that visual of like the Earth, like the planets merging together.
Yeah.
It might play out a little different, but like for the most part, I want to keep that aspect of it in there because it just seems really cool to see.
Absolutely. Right. So straight away, do you have any? I suppose are the Cabal just your supporting characters, or are you gonna bring anyone else in?
No. I think that's it. I think that's like the cast, like the characters I want to keep for the most part.
Right. Well, I'm gonna actually backtrack slightly to villains because I forgot that I'm not just gonna have the Cabal. As I said, they're gonna kind of be more background players. They will be there. They're not gonna be the focus. But
the Beyonders.
No, actually, not going to Beyonders. I'm gonna do slightly differently and go with the Gardeners or the Gardeners.
Okay.
So ex Nilio and ex Nilia.
Okay.
I kind of struggle to think of who I'd get for them. It's only going to be a voice role. They're not going to actually be the mocap because I don't think either of them could do the mocap. And well, they could. I tell like they could actually do the mocap. But I want to go for older, like a lot older for the voice. So I've got McKellen for Nilio and Judi Dench for Nilio. I want that really, they've been around a lot. They're believable that they're these huge, like larger than life gold aliens, and they're all this and all that.
What did they? I never understood what they did. I'll be honest with you. Like,
I can't remember. I just know they were a cool visual at least, and they, the whole terraform. The one thing I remember what they did is they terraformed Mars.
Okay.
And they had the Garden of Mars, and they're doing this. So I kind of want to
bring that.
I want them to be on the Earth that comes from the incursion. Something's happened on that planet. We don't know what it is. Maybe it can be the comics for all I care at this point. Let's have a little you have the Illuminati with them on that planet that's coming over. So essentially, my movie's a bit like a civil war, but with an incursion in the middle. And so you that way you can have the comics Illuminati, you can have your Tony Stark, your Iron Man, your Doctor Strange, your very white man lineup your white bread illuminati come across, and etc. etc. You know, keep people happy. Yeah, you know, it's, no, they're maybe they're not villains, the X's, but they're, I suppose, the antagonists, really. No, if it's going to be like a Civil War type movie, then it's not a straight out villain. I want you to question. Like, it's the Illuminati. You know, at some point, you've really got to start making you question like these guys' choices, and I think that right now, like, this is where you start questioning. Are the Illuminati? Are they doing good stuff?
Yeah. I wanted to take some aspects of time runs out, because the incursions really start. I think they kind of kicked it into some gear with it. I didn't want to put, because I never understood those characters, so I'm not really using the can never pronounce what they're called. Like
just call them the Guardians. Just call them the Guardians.
The Guardians, yeah. But I had a character that like really. The character I wanted to use in some way was Molecule Man.
Cool, yeah, Molecule Man.
Yeah, you know, kind of introduce them, use them as like maybe the reason why, and then bring the Beyonders into it at some point.
Nice.
Because I just like I always dug what the Beyonders look like the aesthetic of it. So like.
What, the flare trousers and the Jericho, or the aliens?
The alien ones. Just the look of it, and then use like the map makers and stuff like that, and you know, I don't know. I like the whole visual of like when Doctor Strange kind of got taken over by what's the map maker?
Was it the map maker? Or was it the it's the dude from the Children of Thanos, isn't it? Is that the bit you're talking about?
The Builders. I'm sorry. That's it. Was it the Builders? Oh, man.
I honestly can't. I haven't read that book in so long. Is this? Like I say, it's been about 5 years since I read that book. I think it was the Builders. I think it was something about it. The only part I can remember that Strange being taken over was when I can't remember the it was in Infinity War.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Squidward. That's all I can remember.
Oh, dang. Oh, man, I'm having a brain.
That's the only bit I'm thinking.
But yeah, you know, I wanted to take aspects of Time Runs Out and kind of intermingle it with the Illuminati. Then use the Builders and stuff like that, the map makers. Seems kind of convoluted and stuff like that, but it just like I always dug that story, so like, and then
it's a great run. It's definitely a great run.
Yeah,
I think like you've gone very much straight to that point because the incursions didn't start in Time Runs Out, did they? You had one way before it started.
I thought it was like the build up to it.
It was the build up to it, but I want to say Time Runs Out was when it all started to kick off, and you had like I want to say because like Cap wasn't in the Illuminati at that point, was he? Didn't they kick him out of New Avengers like really early on?
But he was the one that like he stole the Infinity Gauntlet and tried to use it right around that time too.
Yeah, I just can't remember. Yeah, like, the timeline of that story is like all over the place in my head.
All of his clothes. Yeah. I would use. I don't know. I would probably use Black Panther for that moment. So
that's a good point. Who would I have do that moment? Because someone's got to do it, obviously.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it. I think I probably had to have Panther do it as well.
Because he seems like out of all the characters who are still active, he would be sort of in that vein of what Captain America would be. You know.
Yeah.
Like, but
I suppose you could have Carol do it.
I don't know. Like, I think I just see Carol as like, I gotta do what I have. You have to do what you have to do to save.
Yeah.
But like I think her whole mentality would be, more like, I have to save our Earth versus their Earth type.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just seems like a more militaristic type, like sort of like what her her attitude was in Civil War 2. Not to say that I would use it in it, but like her attitude in
Yeah.
Civil War 2 would be more, I think, more in line with the character. And like,
No, I get you. I agree.
yeah, and like, and I feel like Black Panther is a good stand-in for Cap, if you know, like, because he's got the morals, you know, and integrity and stuff like that, and like, it just seems like a good like substitute for Cap in that situation.
Also, I think everyone wants to see Panther with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah,
I know,
mean,
I
after
know he has that moment in Secret Wars that everyone is desperate for.
yeah,
But
I think it all started when in Endgame when he had when he had the gauntlet.
yeah,
you know,
I think at that point everyone's like,
put it on, man.
They're gonna do it. It's like, come on, so close.
Put it on. But yeah, you know, I can definitely see Chadwick Boseman in that moment. You know, it's like
thank you for like the 15 years of playing this character in this movie. Here, you can have the gauntlet now.
yeah, but yeah, I think my ending would be more in line with like with the lifeboat scene. You know,
All
it's
right,
just like,
yeah.
you know, like it just opens up, and that's what's left from the, you know, of that, you know, because like
So
I
a
would say
proper
that
Infinity War ending, but like they're just in like a blank space.
yeah, oh yeah, and like, you know, you just hear. I feel like you hear Doom, but you don't see Doom yet, or maybe
Yeah.
you just see a foot, you know, and like they're in the foreground, and like you just see the foot of Doom, you know, like just doing that chewing monologue up, you know. It's like,
The good old Doom chewing.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have the stone. Thinking about it, I don't know if I have the stones because I'm also. I want to bring the Sentry back. I think, you know, my Bradley Cooper Sentry has to come back at some point. I think probably now's the best idea.
Yeah.
But I also want to introduce Starbrand and Nightmask.
Yeah.
Or at least just Starbrand. I think Starbrand has, like, for something like this, to not have your planetary defense go off, it would be a bit weird to do it any other way. So I think.
Would you choose him, like, show him a full character, or would you just show him like just like it starts, it's, you know, like it's starting to happen or something like that? Or
I think I'd have like the opening of the movie just be like, "Hey, this thing's happened. Like the white event happens. You just open it with that.
yeah,
It's like this is your Starbrand now." Which I kind of want to go different, like really different, because Starbrand could be literally anyone. It doesn't have to be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white kid who doesn't know anything. Like, you know.
who would you cast? Like, if,
I'm not sure about this, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, you could get like an unknown, like
She's not an unknown. I'm going to put it out there right now.
okay, okay,
I'm just going to give a little context to this. I'm not 100% convinced in the idea myself. I've been watching Community the last couple of weeks.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Right. A few years back, I've never watched Community before. A few years back, there was a certain hype train for one of the actors in that. I never got it then. I've watched. I'm in that season 3 now, towards the end of it. I get it now.
Yeah.
It is Alison Brie.
Yeah.
Like
The hype train.
yeah, I know that hype train's
She's a good
kind of
actress.
passed, but and obviously Annie in Community is a far different character to Starbrand, and I've only ever she's seen her in Community, but I reckon she could nail that a role like that.
Yeah. Well, I think she's been in a movie recently that it doesn't necessarily like. It shows that she's a little bit more range than the comedy thing. I can't remember. I think it was a James a Franco movie.
Yeah,
called
she
Rental or something like that.
is between Dave Franco.
Yeah, Dave Franco. Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't remember what
she
it was.
been in recently.
She has been in something. Oh yeah, it was The Rental. Yeah.
I say
The Rental. The Rental is a thriller movie, so it's not really a funny role, and it shows that she like. I don't think the movie was as good, but like her acting was really good at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just a random punt on that one. No, Just like, you know what? I reckon she could do it.
Why not? I mean, get her out of that whole like the whole She-Hulk speculation thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
something else.
like, because they said they wanted an Alison Brie type for She-Hulk, isn't it?
Yeah,
is that what everyone say?
Yeah, I think everybody saw that and like just automatically.
I say, but people don't understand what that means. It's like, oh, if you wanted Alison Brie type, why not just get Alison Brie? It's just like, well, if they wanted Alison Brie, they would have got Alison Brie.
Well, I think yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you could get Alison Brie, but why not? Why would you? Like, I don't know. Like you could get someone that is like you could hook into somebody and sign them to like a nine picture deal for very little money and still get the same thing that you could if you spent more money. And because Alison Brie's probably not going to commit to like a 10 picture deal or 9 picture deal. Like
no. And that's kind of like Star Brand's perfect because this Star Brand don't last very long. So
yeah.
Wow. Admittedly, he gets killed by Ghost Rider Avengers, but you can kill him off later on.
Good little cameo type,
Yeah, that's very much. You could just make Star Brand a one-off thing or not a one-off, but it's like, hey, I'm going to take 3 movies to do Secret Wars. When that's all done, there's no need for a Star Brand. Star Brand can just fade away, like literally fade away, not just like be pushed to the back, fade away, but like actually like dissolve.
Just dissolve, yeah. Tell me this. Like I was thinking about this last night. Don't you wish you could get like kind of get the whole Avengers BC into something like this, but like
Avengers BC would make a fantastic addition in Battleworld in a Secret Wars.
That's movie. I think that would probably be better. More of like, yeah,
or a fantastic animated series.
Yeah, but like I always loved like the Ghost Rider one was like my favorite because it was just like this is this is basically a hell woolly mammoth, and like the visual of that just makes me smile from ear to ear.
I mean, they're also cool. It's just like, you know what? Like, yes, it's a very typical, like it's like a marketing toy thing. It's like it has a Batman and a Spider-Man for absolutely bloody everything. It's like, what's next? Let's do Caveman Avengers. Like, it's a very like typical thing like that. But it's just like, that's cool.
It also like solidifies the fact that the Phoenix Force likes red-haired women.
Yeah.
We see that the Phoenix has
a
preference.
That's very much.
But I like it. I love the visuals of that team though. It's just like that. Like the Ghost Rider is definitely the Iron Fist character.
That Iron Fist story was really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it was really good. I like the whole backstory to it and stuff like that.
To make them relevant to this conversation and
sorry.
You can have. I'm doing you a favor. You can have like a little quick glimpses of different worlds. So obviously you're gonna have to explain why the hell there is literally an Earth in our orbit. It's got to be some weird science mumbo jumbo for why gravity's not just crushing everyone and everything. It's not actually there. You can see it. It's not there. It's like corporeal. If that's the right word for it.
Sort of like a glimpses into the. You could use them on that Earth too, like as the Earth's version of those characters.
Yeah,
I mean, show glimpses of.
So you just do that at some point, like you have another incursion in a different movie. Just be like, hey, this Earth is this one, and then you do it that way. This Earth's animated. Like, let's do a Spider. Hey.
Spider-Ham. That's how you get Spider-Ham in there. Then you got to deal with Sony again. So.
Also, I kind of want to throw out Michael B. Jordan as a Night Mask. I know.
Yeah. Or I mean, like, I know the low hanging fruit would be have him as T'Challa. But yeah, I like that idea too.
I know people are gonna be like, but he was Killmonger. It's like, yeah, but who cares?
Different Earth, man. Different Earth.
And so if it's a cosmic being, like, who cares? No.
Well, I mean, like, like there's definitely precedent of like different of like actors playing different characters. So
Yeah.
it's not like
You know,
you don't
we've
need
had I forgot the girl's name. Who was is it Gemma Chan?
yeah
It is Gemma Chan, isn't it?
yeah.
Who went from Minerva to Cersei. So,
So
you know, at this point, who cares?
who cares? I mean, you want to get a good actor in the right roles. So it's like
Yeah.
if you have some
We've
overlap,
we've had two different Thanoses.
yeah, it's true.
So,
One wasn't Josh Brolin, one was. Yeah.
mm.
One was the
And
Old Spice guy, and the other one was.
I say, and that original Thanos was in the Winter Soldier. So who cares? It's happened
true.
before. It's
And
happened again.
if you want to go, like he's also Cable, so there you go.
Yeah, yeah. And you never know. Maybe at some point that will be put in, but I kind of doubt it.
I don't want that.
I don't want to either. I mean, you could literally have that Earth come in
and just destroyed.
Yeah.
That's how you get
and
rid
they
of
like
Ryan
they just
Reynolds.
don't hesitate, and they're just like, yeah, no, goodbye. No, we don't waste no time on that one.
On a later note, I don't ever see that movie ever being made. So
I mean, there is.
just don't.
Yeah. But yeah, that's no. This movie's got to be like a bit convoluted. It's got to be a bit contrived just to work. This game.
Well, I mean, just so many things there's so many things that are going on that like it's gonna be hard to keep it all in like a reining in basically. So I mean, there's gonna be a little bit. You have to give it a little bit of leeway on that.
Now, ideally, I would literally just ape the Civil War movie and just change, obviously the context of it. It's like instead of Zemo, you have the gardeners. Instead of a bomb, you have the planet. Like, you have the conversations. You do it that way. You have a bit of a fight at the end between everyone.
Heroes, yeah.
Or you have the big fight, and then that leads up into a smaller one about morality and friendship and all that good stuff. And then you.
It's adorable. Yeah. So how do you end your movie?
I mean, right before the credits go, I think you have, because I don't know if I want to use the stone. I suppose I could use the stones. Have like Starbrand. Use the star. I know the Starbrand can do it himself anyway, or herself, because that's kind of the point of that character. And so, you can have the stones as a backup. That the stones break, because in the last one I'd have them come back, but they're all like old and cracky, and just bring them back and destroy them. Like you can do something else, but it's just they're just purely being brought back to show you like how dire everything is.
It's like we're risking everything. We are doing this is like the break the glass moment where you're like it's
yeah.
You
got to set the standard and set the bar. It's like you bring back the thing that was the big powerful, all powerful MacGuffin from your first saga, and that's not enough for your next one. It's an very easy get out of jail free card for setting the stakes for everything.
Yeah, I mean, like once you get rid of the stones, you're like, at that point, you think the stones are the most powerful things in that universe, and then they just
can't do it.
Paperweights at that point,
It's very, very easy storytelling trick. Very easy storytelling trick.
And it kind of gets it kind of does another job, is like it just gets rid of the stones. There's you have a way of getting rid of the stones. And you can always bring the stones back if you wanted to. But
exactly. There's always a way to get the stones, but you could you literally just go like, oh yeah, they have some form of sentience. They're slowly because why would they ever stay away?
Well, seeing what you're leading into, I mean, like bringing whatever you want. Like you can bring back literally anything you want to. And like when it gets to like Secret Wars, it's like all the cards are on the table, like you can just basically do whatever you want to,
Yeah. I mean, you could literally say Secret Wars is how there's now just one set of stones throughout the multiverse. Yeah. Instead of each universe having their own one, which we know is the case, it's only the one, and then you can spread them about. That's what I do personally.
Yeah. Do you hint at Secret Wars, or do you?
I mean, I assume the incursion's just a hint, personally, because I don't think I'd then be like, hey, here's like a bit like what you done, like here's Doctor Doom, and you have the life raft and all that. I kind of want not a semblance of normal going forward, but like how Hickman done it. You go, right, well, here's the one incursion, and then you have another one, and then they start getting quicker and like closer together as time goes on. So like maybe like in a random movie, like the sky turns red.
So like builds up or something like that.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you don't just have it like you don't have like an Ant-Man movie, and then suddenly there's a giant planet in the sky, and it's just like, oh? Like you don't do that, but like in your big purposeful movies, you just have the incursion. Like maybe like every member of the Illuminati, like that movie, you then have an incursion.
Yeah,
like, that's like the easiest way I'd say to do it.
Sort of like sprinkle the incursions throughout the movies to kind of like build up to that. Yeah, and then have the big one, like the actual thing. You seeing a incursion during an Illuminati movie.
Yeah, and then like you can have the big Avengers movie as the final one, and you do something like that, and then you lead it into a Secret War. So you're still doing like a 2-part, like what Infinity War and Endgame did, but like your first part is the last incursion, and then you do Secret Wars. Or I suppose you can literally have the start of the first one be the first incursion, everything's done, and then the second one's all Battleworld and everything. Like just as long as you can spend some time in that movie, but that's explaining my Secret Wars movie in the Illuminati movie. But that's kind of that's how I would handle that. This one's definitely just a question of morality. Here's a little tease of the direction that we're going. Sort of that.
Yeah. Like the Secret War stuff is gonna be crazy. Like it's just like, I mean, like you could literally have everything you want in one movie.
I don't think you could do it in one.
No, for sure. No, I mean, like you're talking at least 3 movies. At the very least.
I say that's the problem. Is it's got to be more than 2, surely, because there's too much going. 100%.
It was like there's a lot to explain in that movie. Even after explaining, like, it's just like because you're like you can't just have to open a movie see like 6 Iron Man or 6 Thors hanging around. You gotta start explaining that, and like making sure the audience knows like why this is happening.
Yeah. So I don't know when we'll do Secret Wars for this. I suppose we could do it next week, or we could do something different. Actually, no. I know what we're gonna do next week. We're gonna mix it up a little bit and then do the Secret Wars.
What are you gonna do with DC movie?
We'll do something. There might be 2 very similar movies thinking about it, but I'll tell Sean after so we don't spoil it.
We can. Yeah, that's true. Never mind.
All right. So that's gonna bring this to an end. Hopefully, you enjoyed the ideas we had for the Illuminati. I know people are like, "Oh, they're not gonna do the Illuminati." It's like, you sure?
No, I mean, look, dude.
People said that about a lot of things they've done.
But hold on. 12 years. Anybody that says that, and I'm not downing them or anything like that, but think about it. That's a huge part of that. They're not going to do the Illuminati in the comics, but they are going to do something with those. They can't just leave that on the table and say, yeah, we're not going to do one of the biggest, teams. It's like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to leave money on the
What gets me is we've had Endgame. We're in a post-Endgame world, right? And people are still saying they're not going to do something.
Yeah.
I don't. I just do not understand it. I will never understand. And even if they don't, the point of these videos isn't to say that they're doing it. It's to say how we would do it. It's what we want to see. That's the point of this video.
We're not movie pitching to the studio. We're just saying.
I kind of was a little bit with the Bradley Cooper century. I'm not gonna lie.
Wink,
Now, I
wink,
was
yes.
I was kind of throwing. I know you're listening, Marvel. Pay me money for Bradley Cooper century. But the point of this is purely, hey, this is what we'd like to see. This is how we do
What?
it. This is who we'd have.
But isn't it kind of in the titles though too? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like Marvel Studios is doing. That's not the name of the
I
title.
was going to say, if it was, we wouldn't be doing it. Army would be doing it.
Oh,
Like, it would
well, not
not
even
be
that.
DC.
Like, I'll be 100% sure you'll be getting a cease and desist order from a lot of like
I mean,
the
there's
Disney
probably that.
studios. So,
Probably that as well. I'd like to
we-
see them try. I'm pretty certain I'm not in their jurisdiction, so good luck. Good luck to you.
but you would hear. I think if it's just like a spitballing ideas, like, hey, if
Yeah.
we were in charge, we were doing something. This is what we would do. That's
Also,
you know
if I
that's
could
perfect.
see their blackboard of what they're planning to do, and I'm just going down the line of what they're doing, then I would not be here right now. I'd have told information off a long time ago.
Oh, you would have been. I mean, we would have been talking like every day, at work. If you were, but like, no, I mean, look, dude, I'm not gonna say you're stupid for someone saying that. It's just like, come on, man. Like, eventually the studio will do something like this. It's just this is not what it's going
No.
to be.
It's like
It's
let
just
your
like,
hair down, have a bit
it's like
of
a what
fun.
if.
Have a bit of fun. If you
Yeah,
got
it's
an
like,
idea for it, let me know because I do read the comments, as you can tell. So,
Yeah.
and there have been some really good ideas in the comments, like in past videos.
I'm sure there's a lot of, hey, that's stupid. Here it is. Here's what I would do.
I mean, there was one comment on the last one being like, "Oh, SJW Disney would never have an all-male team." It's like, good,
Okay.
cool.
Let's hear your idea, man.
Fantastic. Like, I don't want an all-male team. Why would anyone ever? Like, I'm sure there are people that would want an all-male team because obviously someone made the comment, and for obvious various reasons. But why?
And we don't associate with that person.
Why? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, like why? Like not every character that is good is male.
No.
Like,
50% of the people on this planet are not male. So why should a team be 100% male? It makes no sense.
No social warrior justice thing going on. It's just like, hey, if it's a good character and it seems interesting, why not throw it on the team? Like that's how I look at it. It's like I don't care like what gender the character is. If I feel it's interesting and it might make an interesting story or have interesting results, then I'll throw it in there. You know, snakes, whatever, like reptiles. Like if the character's interesting, I'll throw it in, man.
Exactly. But right, so that's gonna bring an end again to that video. It's a light little tangent there, but hey, it's what you get. It's
That's
what
a part
you
of
don't pay. You don't pay for this content, so it's what you get. You get what you pay for. It's free, so hey, that's what you get. You don't have to listen
And
to
just-
it, but you can.
And if you don't agree, please leave a comment.
If you don't agree, that's fine. It's fine. You can still be friends, disagree. Just don't be a dick. That's all I'm gonna say.
And please leave a comment about it too.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or the other, it still works.
Please give me my YouTube engagement. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So next week should be fun. It should be fun. It's gonna be a challenge. At least it's gonna be a challenge for me because I'm stepping out my wheelhouse slightly. But we will catch you all next time. So bye.